Morytania is probably my favorite area in the game. The music, the ambience, the abject poverty, it all builds together into this fantastic area of the game filled with enough depression to feed the inherent Slavicness in my heart. I know we've been here a bit previously in episode 12 and 14, but here's where we start getting into the meat of this area and start really learning more about the history of this side of the world. So, grab yourself a nice tea with some condensed milk and a hearty stew and enjoy.
No, there'll never be end.
Quest number 66 is the Haunted Mine. Another in the wonderful series of we're bored so we wander around and things happen. This time in spooky mine exploration flavor. We start out by talking to the Zealot, who is suspiciously hanging around a dilapidated mine west of Morton. He says he's here to strengthen Saradomin's name in the region, which seems like a futile effort judging by the prevalence of anemia in the local population, and that this mine is supposedly haunted. He has the key to part of the mine, but can't quite figure out how to get in. Of course, he doesn't want any help, so we just kind of quietly bypass him with just a little hint of crime. And we get ourselves a key that will hopefully be useful later. It turns out that getting in is actually quite easy if you're not a fanatic, as you just kind of hop over this minecart that's stuck in place and you can wander right in. Boom. Assuming you don't die to the feral vampires, but we wouldn't do that, would we? Welcome back to another subterranean exploration video. This time we're going to explore the Mort Ridge mine located just southwest of Morton and west of Berg de Rot in southern Morytania. The Mort Ridge mine hails from the 4th Age and not much history survives due to the region being closed off to outsiders at this time. Entering by a side minecart entrance, we see the top level of the mine, and there is clear signs of an active haunting going on. We have a lot of bats flying around, as well as some animated corpses and what looks to be some possessed mining equipment. You sort of look over here. We got a little skeleton friend going about, and then looks like some animated equipment right over in the corner here. So this is a fairly neat engineering apparatus. These minecarts are built to reduce friction and maintain their momentum throughout the mine. And then this cart array here can redirect them. To sort of illustrate how that works, it looks like it's in good condition. So we'll put a fungus in this minecart here, and you sort of look over here in this routing diagram. This will show you where the cart's going to go from where it started. It looks a little confusing, but pretty much if we move all of these levers in the correct order, we should be able to just route it through and not dunk that cart into the water. This apparatus also explains why there's so many haunted mine carts all over the place. These things are kind of built to be easy to move, so it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for the spirits to be able to make them bounce back and forth. So we pull these levers and then end up with a more usable diagram, so we sort of follow the cart. Look at it go. Well, hopefully it's somewhere useful now. And that is why you don't go down random shafts in an abandoned mine. Fortunately, there's a pool of water down there, so we aren't hurt. Looks like we have a track down here leading deeper. Let's go to our left first. See what's this way. Looks to be another passage over to the right, but going down these stairs, these seems to be cut differently. Oh, we have a door here. It looks to be some sort of bottom level processing area, or perhaps this is an active mining area, but oh, what's that over there? Seems to be an interesting little key. I wonder what this is. Ow. So, I didn't really know what was going on there, but anyway, as I was saying, you just sort of grab that key, and Triss Daith spawns and starts fighting us, and he deviates from most early quest bosses post EOC, whereas he's not as piss easy to fight because he keeps running away, like so. And thus the fight takes a long time and you end up getting smacked in the face by cranes and axes and animated minecarts over and over again until you eventually kill him one attack at a time. I'd also like to note that when I was recording this originally, my audio is entirely me swearing at him because this fight is incredibly annoying. So, upside, it remains annoying in RuneScape 3. And there we go. He's dead. We can take the key, we can go to the other side, and we can get the crystal, and we can finish the quest. Alright. On to the next one. Alright, now, I know I said we'd be in Morytania today. I know I said it, but we're in a quest progression series, so we're unfortunately forced to head back to Troll Land to, solve a relationship issue. Alright, I'll do my best. So, Troll Romance came out on January 5th, 2005. It's the first quest of that year, of a absolutely stacked year. Like, 2005 is incredibly stacked in terms of quests. Skills, too, actually. And we start out by talking to Ugg in the Troll Stronghold. Now, troll quests, trolls actually as a whole, are like, of the non-human races, are the most flip-floppy between antagonists and protagonists. Like, they have this weird thing where half the time the trolls are trying to murder you and are like this great threat and they're trying to eat you. And the other half the time you are holding meaningful, if a little bit hard to parse, conversations with characters that have hopes and dreams and, you know, character things like that. Ugg, who is currently crying his little bitch tears, has a little bit of an issue with the lady troll, primarily one named Aga, who is currently with an alpha male troll who's named Arg. We go and talk to Aga and just sort of ask her about her love life. And she basically says that, oh, well, she's with Arg and he's very strong and alpha and totally a Chad, but she has no idea if Arg actually likes her or not. Aga wants a flower from the Trollweiss Mountain, so a Trollweiss flower. So, we have a little sneaky plan right here. We're gonna do ourselves a little romantic comedy 1-2 duo, where if we get Ugg to bring the flower, then Aga will like Ugg, because that's totally how relationships work. But Ugg is, besides having a self-confidence issue, also doesn't know where the flower is found, despite being a native to this region for all of his presumably very short life. So we get to solve the problem, because it wouldn't be a RuneScape quest without us solving the problem. Fortunately, we know a mountainy dwarf, who is Frida, who hopefully knows where to find a flower. Which, of course, she does. But to get to it, we need to get a sled, which Dunstan can make. Hey, Dunstan! I need a sled. Thanks. We get ourselves some wax. Grease up that sled. And off we go. So, after running past the first category of troll that we talked about at the beginning of this quest, we can finally realize our childhood dream of being able to play in a not trivial amount of snow. Woohoo! Whee! And off we go. And we can pick ourselves a little flower. So pretty. Back we go to Ugg. We give him the flower, but Ugg is too much of a chicken shit to actually talk to Aga because Arg is too scary. So, we're gonna get rid of Arg. Take him out back, one could say. Make sure he's sleeping with the fishes. So we challenge Arg to a duel. And we just kill him. So we go back to Ugg. Tell Ugg that Arg has been put out to pasture. And then Ugg is still too fucking scared to go and talk to Aga. He just promises that he will. Fucking trolls, man. At least we got paid. A mere 5 days later, we get the 68th quest released, described as a new stranger has appeared in Canifus with a job to track down some local heroes known only as the Morytania, which is only the most suspicious thing ever, so let's find some resistance fighters and probably get them killed by accident. We start out here by talking to Vance from Clouds, which is our stranger of note, and he wants to help them by giving them some nice steel weapons, as he's such good friends with them. So, after agreeing to help, he directs us to the boatmen of Morton. So, we get to brave the headache of the swamp yet again. Sirik here is appropriately suspicious of the heavily armed stranger showing up and expecting a ride to the secret hideout of a resistance group. So, we need to convince him to let us help, and to sort of prove that we're not like a vampire in disguise or something, we also have to fix his boat and pay him 10 gold. Because apparently fighting the power isn't free. And we end up talking to Kerpile here, who is doing his very best overweight dad at a Home Depot on a Saturday morning impression, which kind of stands out in the middle of a swamp. So he asks us a bunch of various questions about the Morytania and the surrounding area. So as long as we answer them correctly, he will let us in. So yeah, he boogers off and opens the door for us. So once we get inside this cave structure, we find a side cavern, locate the rest of the Morytania, led by Veliath Hertz, which is probably the furthest stretch for a name pun this game has shown so far. I'd like to ask some questions. No. Oh, hello. This is a very nice to meet person. Yeah, sure. Lots of questions. No. Oh, Paul Maffey here. Yeah, let's ask some questions. And no. Ivan, lovely fellow. Very nice. Okay. And Radagad here. You're super great. And so I'm gonna no. I think that's everybody. So after some tea and introductions later, we hand over the weapons, and guess what? Well, it turns out that we weren't a vampire in disguise. Our employer, Vanstrom fucking Klaus, is. So, while Vanstrom seems to be doing a really good job killing the Myarchy all by himself, being, a vampire spelled with a Y and all, he has the fatal flaw of being too smug to be efficient and leaves to let his undead puppy finish us off, despite doing a perfectly good job by himself. So, after ensuring our formerly dead dog is returned to the rightful order of things, we clear the air with the Myarchy. The survivors leave to hopefully find somewhere harder to find than a random side cave underground in the middle of the swamp. And then we go back through the very obvious secret door behind the pub to, well, confront Vanstrom / get paid for technically doing the job we were hired for, since, he asked us to go bring weapons to the Myarchy, and we brought weapons to the Myarchy. And lo and behold, he's not there anymore, because why would you stay in the pub after finding a fool to lead him to the super secret resistance group? Yeah, that's the first Myarchy quest. To start off a very long and very involved storyline of politics and vampire shenanigans and many good things, actually. I am a very big fan of the Myarchy questline. And also, with this quest, Slayer is unlocked, also known as the best skill in the game. Not really, but I like to say it's the best skill in the game because I enjoy Slayer. Slayer was my first untrimmed skill cape. So yeah, good times. From the personal diary of Dr. Finkenstrain, recovered after the events recorded within. 5th February, another gold day, another day without good help. At least this new person seems promising. She's some adventurer or something from across the Salve, though described herself as brain dead and good with some down-home grave digging. Seems she's been over here a little while. I heard the dogs talking about some nitwit getting half those Myarchy fools slaughtered by one of the lords. So if that's her, then maybe she is that dumb. Clearly can't be any value if she ended up over here in this shithole of a town. I sent her to go gather a body worth of parts for the experiment, and she proceeded to run upstairs like a dog hearing a steak fall instead of into the swamp. Where the bodies are. I was heading down into the failure cave to get some alchemical supplies and saw my new assistant killing one of the guard dog failures for its key. She really is stupid. Those mutts can't resist any order from anyone. She could have just told it to give and saved some trouble. I do hope she isn't planning on digging up the family crypt. I would prefer not to use those parts. Well, perhaps this assistant is more useful than I initially thought. She brought me an entire body worth of parts, although I did notice the head was from the misbegotten gardener who suffered an unfortunate accident a while ago. His ghost is still hanging about, so it probably led her to his body in the faint hope of redemption. Good thing nobody alive can understand ghosts, or she'd know the cause of that accident. I sent her to go get some other supplies and fix the lightning rod. And of course she goes and cleans the chimneys instead for some reason. Also don't know why she's carrying nearly everything I ask for ahead of time, but who am I to question the logic of brain-dead adventurers? I've done it. But at what cost? Not mere moments after the lightning rod got fixed, a powerful bolt completed the alchemical ritual and animated my greatest work, which immediately wrapped its massive hands around my throat and tried to strangle me. I managed to wrestle it into the tower and lock the door, but something must be done. Clearly the brain used was too far gone. I need something much fresher. Well, I still have all the necessary supplies and a suitable body. I'll just get that assistant of mine to deal with the old problem and then clean her up myself. I didn't hear any sounds of violence upstairs, but she has returned, a bit more tired looking, stumbling against me for a moment. Perfect. I'll dull her senses with the ring and then strangle her to limit damage to the body. Then right onto the table and... where's my ring? It was in my pocket a moment ago and... oh no. She took it when she bumped against me. As the adventurer leaves the castle with a smile, I can do nothing as I hear the baying of the dogs from the village. The words of Lord Rologoth echo in my ears as though he's right behind me. The werewolves do not suffer disloyalty and will not forgive your treachery, Finkenstrain. They can smell me now. I must hide out of reach.